This podcast is brought to you by Lacrosse growing the game, one podcast at a time. What's going on, everybody? My name is Justin Skaggs, and welcome to the woodlacrossesticks.com woodshop. This is the Lacrosse podcast, where we go ahead and take apart everything that happened last week, tell you what to look forward to, and today we have Sergio Salcido here in the office to talk about what it was like down to play in Syracuse, and we're going to go into his pro career a little bit. Let's get right into it here. The Roughnecks hold strong at home versus San Diego. Black Wolves knock off defending champs in their home opener. The Rock fall in the final seconds versus the Swarm. The Bandits beat the Warriors for the first win at home. Nighthawks celebrate the 25th season with a win in their season opener. We're going to get into more of that with Rich, my co-host, in the weekly recap. But before we do, let's go and thank our sponsor, STX. This episode of the Lacrosse podcast is brought to you by STX and their show, The Season 19. The season is back. Get an exclusive all-access look at two of the top college programs in lacrosse this February. We're going to go ahead and follow the Florida Gators women, and they're going to follow Cornell University Big Red, and pretty much map out their quest for the NCAA championship. Season 19 is going to be coming out to you guys when the cross season starts. So make sure you guys check into that and follow STX and everything they're doing at STX on Instagram. I am joined by my co-host, as I am every week, for the weekly recap. Rich, what's going on, man?
I'm alive, people.
Yeah, if you guys listened last week, this dude was like patient zero. You were really gross.
Well, you know, the zombie apocalypse has to start somewhere.
Yeah, well, you spit up some like weird little like mutant creatures. So if we're going with the Halloween theme of zombies, you were spitting up like little goblins. Those things were nasty. They were gross. But you are back. You are healthy. It only took you about a week and a half to spring back with your youthful 30-year-old body.
Yeah, well, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bounce right back.
Good genes.
All right, let's get into it. We have New England versus Saskatchewan. Didn't go so well for Saskatchewan, but I did think Crawford came out.
Oh yeah, Crawford did well. It didn't turn out too well for the returning champs.
Nope.
It didn't really seem like they were getting their rhythm going. The Black Wolves it just seemed like they were clicking the whole time. There were some pretty wild goals.
Oh, dude, let's talk about the goal on transition when they pulled the goalie.
Okay, so. And it was pretty early on in the game, which confused me about why they did it. But I mean, they were.
Well, statistically, there's an argument.
Yeah, they were trying to put an extra man on. They pulled their goalie, and in transition, the Saskatchewan forward gets smashed.
Yep.
I mean,
smashed. It might have been the biggest hit of the.
I was good, man. If you know me, you know I love hitting. This is why Rambo's after my heart. We'll get to that later, but I mean, he got smashed, coughs the ball up, and the Black Wolves just toss in a open netter, and it feels like that was kind of the way the game was going to go.
That was the mood.
Yeah, they were just getting.
That was an unfortunate game, but it was also a home opener. So we actually there's really not anything to say in significance of it, but we've now seen every team play.
Yeah, everybody had their home opener.
Everyone's done now. So. There's really the Rush can come back and be a completely different team.
Yeah, absolutely.
And New England's just been sitting in the gate waiting to come out. So it may not be a very meaningful win, but it was still 11-2. I mean, they creeped back pretty heavy.
Yeah, they did make a comeback. So
all right, Georgia versus Toronto. There's not a lot to say other than Georgia's still proving themselves very, very competent.
Yeah, this game was probably the best game we've seen so far. In my opinion, I feel like the competition. I mean, they basically went goal for goal the whole game.
It was another 11-12 game. Yeah, honestly, it was there was two very, very close games to start off this.
But I mean, this one, like there were no real runs. It was literally goal for goal until the very end. I mean, Schreiber showed up. Lyle Thompson had this pretty ridiculous, like, dude, the leaping across the crease goal. Last week's goal, I felt like may have been one of the wildest goals where he got completely horizontal, nearly like heels overhead diving across the crease. But this time, he just like aired it out and then kind of just like flicked it backside. I don't know. He's
all right. I got a thing. So for anyone who's watching this on YouTube and not on podcast land, we're gonna actually show this goal. So if you guys want to check it out, go to LaxAllStars.com. We're gonna show this goal. We're gonna see if any goal next week beats this one.
Okay. All
right.
Yeah.
And who did the off the wall goal? It was Buffalo last week.
Oh yeah.
Who was that? That might win.
Was it Hogarth? No.
It was Hogarth.
Yeah.
That might win. Just because I don't know.
He had two, didn't he? He had two.
I don't think he did the first one.
Oh.
He might have.
Either way, I don't know, man. That bounce off the backboard goal is in my heart.
All right, we're going to put those two up. Those are going to be my 2 top goals for the year so far.
Okay.
And we're going to go each week and see if that wins. So if you guys want to enter in for, we'll do a giveaway. We'll do a T-shirt, do a T-shirt and a hat. Boom, done. Go to LaxAllStars.com. What? I'm just throwing T-shirts and hats around here.
It's cool. I got to make them, so watch it.
Yeah, you do. All right, so cool. I got to say, yeah, he definitely went horizontal. It was a complete freak show of a goal, and it was 1 of 4.
Yeah, he's
absolutely crushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, we can move on. Toronto, by the way, did a fantastic job.
Oh, it was a great game. It was a great game. Toronto showed up. It was great.
Yeah, but the Swarm are dominating the beginning of this season.
Yeah. Oh, wait, let me say.
You clap, you can say whatever you want.
All right, so this is, and I don't know if anybody saw this clip, but Tom Schreiber was out doing a shoot-around, warming up, and he kind of does this, like there's ground ball, it's just like he's going to scoop it up, and he's facing away from the goal, and he just does a scoop and flicks it up over his shoulder and turns around and just like catches it in his stick, like ready to shoot. And it was just the coolest. It was just the coolest swaggerful thing I've seen in like forever.
All right, we're gonna do a second competition on the most swaggerful thing.
Oh yes, the most.
We're
swaggerful.
not doing that. I don't have that kind of time.
It was great though. Man's got stick skills.
All right, so Vancouver, Buffalo. This was a game that kind of started off telling its tale, man, because Buffalo really came out in the initial run.
Yeah, Buffalo was. I mean, they got ahead and Vancouver just couldn't catch up. It seemed like almost everybody got on the board, but Josh Bryan had some pretty flashy goals. Our man Ian McKay got on the board a couple times.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
he got deuces.
Actually, I think, in my opinion, he had the best goal with the. There was like a rebound, like loose ball scoop around the world behind the back kind of shot that he just like buried, which was pretty great. In like a
my young Fogo on transitions out there. Putting up some points.
I'm telling you, man, that was a great goal. And then he had one that was almost like a sort of a break where he just like, nails it offside top corner. And yeah, he went off.
Yeah, and on the Vancouver side, there was some people that showed up. Jones came in with a hat trick. And, I mean, it wasn't close, but, I mean, in the second, it was 8-1. There was eight goals towards Buffalo, towards Vancouver's single. The first quarter was definitely very, very close. Fourth, close. Third, close. And it was just the second.
Yeah, once they got
they won
the
game.
Right there. They couldn't. Vancouver just couldn't come back.
And that's fine. Like I said, it's still very early. Let's talk about the Seals and recap here. All right, the Calgary Roughnecks won, but that's not really what I was watching. Del Bianco absolutely became a wall.
Sports in general are hard, but that must be
please. Can we make T-shirts?
Sports in general are hard.
Sports in general are hard.
Yes,
that's why we talk about it.
Yeah. No, but
bring it on.
I mean, could you imagine 900 a plus 900 save percentage? These are pro athletes, and nothing they're doing is mattering. Can you imagine getting on the floor and nothing you do is mattering?
Nothing matters.
Nothing.
If you're someone saving that many, that kind of percent.
So it was a
I
pretty
wrote down the
low
numbers. I actually looked them
wow.
up, and I'm pretty lazy in general. It was 51 shots on goal and 46 saves. Yes. I haven't been that competent in anything I've ever done.
That's and as a former goalie, that just tickles me. I love seeing a great goalie shut down a game.
Yeah, but that was. It's funny when you start watching a game and you end up watching a player.
Yeah.
Which honestly, the Georgia game at that point in time, I was watching Thompson.
Yeah, but it is
different because you're only going to
what happens when you watch.
Yeah, but you're only putting up 4 of 12. I mean, this guy literally stopped, and I quote, 46 out of 51 shots.
I mean, even if it was out of more than 51 shots, 46 saves is wild.
It's insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the best part. But yeah, San Diego fell on that. New team, I'm not surprised. But,
I don't know how you're going to win if you can't get anything fast. I don't think that's on San Diego, honestly. That's just, what are you going to do?
That's just on Del Bianco for showing up and eating his Wheaties.
Yeah.
All right, we got a bummer. The Nighthawks came into town, and, or actually, they didn't. We went over there and we took a whooping.
A whooping is a term for it, but what I'll say is we lost, but...
We took a 9-3.
Yeah, but see, a whooping, in my opinion, would be like when Rambo is like rushing you and was plowing you into the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, all I'm saying is
I know what you're saying.
really
Can I take a stab at it?
You can take a stab.
Rich, I think, has taken this position, and I've known the man for a long time, so I think I can speak on it. He's smiling. I don't think he cares if we get a lot of W's, as long as we're the most violent team in the league.
Listen, we're saying we're a new team, okay? This is our first year back. We're not expecting to go to the championship. We need to establish ourselves as a team. We got plenty of time. Franchise, history coming up soon. Man, I like that the bullies are on Broad Street. I really like that when you play us, you better come hard.
Yeah, that's fine, man. You know what I like? I like anyone with reasonable standards. We can meet that. Yeah, sure. Just keep kicking the crap out of everybody.
Yeah.
And you'll buy some tickets.
Yeah, it's just like, I bet we're angry, though. So you might have won, but I bet you we hit you, though.
No, and they did win. They did win pretty definitively, actually. So, again, it was a 9-13, and in the first, Rochester had 5 unanswered goals.
Yeah, that's really where we lost it.
No, that's mathematically exactly where we lost it. Like that was the spread at the end of the game. We answered everything else.
Yeah, it was. And it was a quick run.
Yeah, they got on it quick, and that is fine. Again, you're talking about a bunch of fresh dudes running out on a fresh team. That is the kind of thing that would happen.
I mean, honestly though, when watching this game, I'm not sure if we're having issues with defense or if it's just goaltending. But man, there were a couple instances where I felt like some of the shots either shouldn't have gotten through or shouldn't have gotten off.
Well, let me take a look here real quick. It looks like the shots on goals were actually pretty relevant to one another, or relative to one another, rather. You had 59 on Philly and 52 on Rochester. It's not that big of a deal. We cut our penalty minutes way down. Mm-hmm. No, we just didn't sink as many. Straight up, that run in the beginning. If you want to point to something right there, I mean, I'm looking at the score sheet.
That's what I mean about the run in the beginning. It shouldn't have happened. In my opinion, like I don't.
Oh, good point.
I don't think 5 goals. I don't think it's as much about offense as should they have scored 5 goals that quickly, or should you be able to score 5 goals? I don't think the offense should have been able to score 5 goals that quickly, even in a rebuttal to that. Yeah,
I got you. I guess
that's a lot of goals to have to come back from in the first couple minutes of a game.
Yeah, they ate them. They definitely ate them.
But
it's fine. Hey, you got a really happy Richard. Just because you guys keep hitting people.
Man,
so
there were
keep
some
it
good
up.
hits. There were some good hits.
Wait, do we come home next week? Hey, you know what? Speaking of which, that's a good transition. We'll actually get right back to you guys with the games for the week coming up, and I think Philly comes home.
I think we do too.
Woo-hoo. Yeah, man, I was wrong actually. We're in Toronto, but the schedule, Rich.
All right, so on the 4th, we have the boys from Broad Street, Philadelphia, going up to Toronto to take on the Rock. And that is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. On the 5th, Vancouver takes on Georgia at 7:05 Eastern. And again on the 5th, Rochester and Buffalo go head-to-head at 7:30. Also on the 5th, at 8:30, Saskatchewan is taking on San Diego. And the 6th finishes up the weekend at a 3 p.m. game, Calgary versus Colorado.
And, it's still a little too early for any of this to mean anything, but we might as well hit people with some standings.
Yeah, you might as well.
All right, Eastern Division from top to bottom is Georgia, Rochester, Buffalo, Toronto, New England, and Rich Snow's pick for Team of the Year, Philadelphia.
I mean, it's a factual pick. I don't understand.
They don't rate anybody just on punches to the head.
No.
Western Division.
Not yet.
We have Calgary, San Diego, Vancouver, Saskatchewan, and Colorado. Again, we had a really weird opening week, so none of this really matters. But in a couple weeks, this will be important. And let's get into our guests without further ado. Rich, who we got here today?
Oh man, the myth, the legend. We got Sergio Salcido.
Salcido! Let's get in it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have Sergio Salcido in the studio. Sergio, thank you for being here with us.
Guys, thanks for having me.
No problem, man.
So let's just jump right into it. From Florida, playing in Florida. I know the weather up here isn't as nice. I mean, playing in Syracuse must have been a pretty stark transition. But what's the Florida scene, the Florida lacrosse scene like?
It's great. It's growing. Sports growing rapidly, and obviously now compared to when I was in high school, you're seeing a lot of guys committing at the Division 1, 2, and 3 level, and getting recognition, which is pretty cool to see.
Yeah, you have some serious talent coming out of the Sunshine. No, it's not the Sunshine State, but you got a lot.
What is Florida? The Orange State?
Orange State?
It's the Sunshine State.
Well, all right, yeah.
Hold on, I got a connection. He's from Florida and he played for the Oranges.
Yep.
Has anyone ever dropped that on you?
I'm from Orange County, Florida. That's the county I live in, and our license plate have oranges on them.
So I guess it was meant to be.
Pretty well focused.
So.
It was meant to be.
Yeah.
So back in the day, you actually you walked on to Syracuse.
Yep.
What is that like? Because let's be fair. There's a lot of lacrosse players who are never going to get to that echelon of play, and that's fine. You know, there's lacrosse for everybody. We were talking here. There's like 8 different versions of the game. You got box, international, field, but like. How did that happen? Did you know you were going to do that, or you just got there and you thought you'd take a stab at it? What was the deal?
My mom's from upstate New York. I wanted to go to Syracuse since I was in the 2nd grade, going into the 3rd grade. I caught a game over at the Carrier Dome when I was, I think in 2nd grade, or maybe the spring of my 3rd grade year, and was hooked instantly. All the guys back home that I grew up learning from talked about how they were the top program, the premier program. You know, if you're going to play, they're the best, and I set my goals at a young age to make that happen. Went through the recruiting process in high school, had a few offers from other Division I schools.
Do you mind me asking who? Is that a thing? Is that sensitive?
No. So University of Maryland, I was considering through Jake Bernhardt and Bernhardt brothers. And
yeah, I got to pause here. Okay. So you had an offer from University of Maryland. You decided to walk on to Syracuse.
They were going to probably give me a roster spot, which is similar to what Syracuse was going to do. But I loved Syracuse and the opportunity, the atmosphere, and the competitive atmosphere.
That's wild, man. That's got to be like...
It's the Orange connection.
Yeah. I dig the Orange connection, but like at that point in time, that had to have just been like a really tense like baked chicken dinner with your family where everyone's like, but...
I mean, that's a serious program to just decide to walk onto.
Right. I was lucky for the opportunity, and it was coming down to the wire with me with recruiting, and Salisbury Division III school was looking at me pretty hard, pretty early, but I figured if I was going to do it, I'd rather take the risk and, give it my all. And if it doesn't work out, you've got plenty of opportunities ahead of you being young. So, I went up there, walked on, and lucky enough, worked out.
Okay, so last question on this subject. And again, it's just an interesting situation, you know what I mean? You get a lot of players from around the world who want to play for these schools. How do you go talk to like the athletic director and you're like, hey, I did have these offers. Do you mind if I come to a practice? Like, what is that? It seems so foreign of a concept to me to even
just
walk.
Yeah. So
hey, how's it going?
I'd gone to the Syracuse lacrosse camps in 8th grade, my sophomore year of high school, and I communicated with the coaches, going into my, after September 1st of my junior year about the opportunity, and had called them and sent them emails and film, and I was kind of on the bubble if they thought my size and my brand of lacrosse would suit what they were looking for in a recruit. The coaches knew how bad I wanted to make it happen, and they said, hey, look, if you can get into the school and you can get up here, we'll give you an opportunity. There's a tryout process. We think if you get in and you show up, you'll be fine. You'll get through it and you'll make the team. But you're going to have to earn everything from there. So I took them up on the opportunity and ran with it since.
That's awesome.
So you say you said you were going to Syracuse-based camps. Since you were younger, so you had a little bit of a relationship with, I guess, the staff before that time. Even I guess that's also a good thing. If any of these colleges you're interested in going to or putting on camps, maybe check them out.
Yeah, especially with the new recruiting rules. I guess there's really not another way to get in front of them unless you're in like an elite program like Duke's Nationals or something where they take kids from all over the country and then just I know you're not supposed to talk to any of these young guys, but I'm not going to throw any shade at anybody. There's always going to be a way to find young talent. And, that's a good way to put yourself out there. So walk us through the rest of your career and maybe just a short,
Right. Yeah. So
version.
I get to Syracuse. I walked on. I made the team. I got a locker. Got a number. We went through about a week and a half where they bring the freshmen, sophomores in to acclimate them to the drills. So when the seniors come in for the first day of practice, you're not dragging behind the group and holding up anything at all. I tore my ACL the first day of practice when the seniors came in. Probably 45 minutes into practice in a broken situation, transition drill. Just tried to split dodge, tore my ACL.
It's damn cold weather, man.
ACL, yeah.
It froze it.
I was going to ask about the ACL injury. So you came back from an ACL injury or ACL tear, right? It was a tear.
Yeah.
That is crazy. What is that road like from a tear back to competing at an elite level again?
It was tough. So you tear ACL, you've got to do the prehab, which is the strengthening process prior to getting surgery. You've got to pick your surgeon. What graft you want to use, whether it's a cadaver or hamstring or patella. I chose patella. It's the longer recovery period, but quoted to be the strongest of the three. So I had the surgery in September of my freshman year, and about 6 months later, 6.5 months later, I was cleared to return to practice. So Final Four, prior to the quarterfinals, I started practicing with the team, just getting back into the scout group a little bit, getting comfortable. Obviously, I had a red shirt due to missing the year with the injury. Came back a year later wearing a brace, wore the brace for a year.
So wait, that's year 2 or 3 now? 2.
So this is my sophomore season now. So I guess red shirt freshman technically, because I redshirted.
That's a really sad phrase.
Yeah.
Let's just mellow on that for a second. Like, I'm a red shirt freshman. That sucks, dude.
Yeah, it was
tough.
tough.
Good for you for getting through it, and my knee hurts from your story. Like, I just have this phantom torn ACL now, and I keep imagining like a dead dude's cadaver.
I mildly tore my quad, and I took off, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to play again.
Man, I sprained my thumb and I took off. Well, that's rocking, man. And it's interesting, and also we had Jake in here not too long ago, and coming from areas where lacrosse isn't a hotbed and competing up in the Northeast, and especially a couple of years ago even, it's just a completely different game. And I've been down to Florida to just bring my wooden lacrosse sticks there and just hang out and do tournaments, and it's remarkable how good the talent is now at a youth level versus what it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see. I think social media obviously does wonders for kids now. They've got access to videos, film, highlights, tutorials on how to play the game, taught by some of the game's biggest names. So it's pretty cool to see how the sport's come so far over the years. When I grew up playing, even Jake probably said a lot of the same. Back in Florida, there wasn't a lot of resources, a lot of coaching. You kind of had to get out of the state to develop your game. Now you can find ways to develop your game within the state through camps, clinics, tournaments, etc. And there's a lot more coaches that are starting to come down into the the non-traditional hotbeds looking for talent.
Right.
So I think just that in itself opens the window, opens the door for kids to learn and develop their games, outside of being a Florida lacrosse player or a non-traditional hotbed.
And I'm sorry, not to cut you off. You have some of your own camps going, the SS48?
Yeah, so we started a brand. Partner of mine, actually, we started Crown Lacrosse Athletes. Dylan Maltz went to the University of Maryland, won a national championship in 2017 alongside Rambo and Heacock. He was the third attackman there that year. We started a company that does lacrosse camps and clinics, and we provide feedback. Basically, we grade players every camp so then they can leave not only with the experience but with additional personalized feedback on what their game needs and how they can get better at it.
And do you is that like a traveling camp, or are you based in a certain area?
So we're nationwide and internationally. We are in Norway in September.
Okay.
We'll be heading to Japan at the end of January.
Doing big things. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, lacrosse will send you around the world as long as you're just patient.
Listen,
and you got a good mission.
that's
That's
how you
what
grow
it
the
is.
game.
As long as you're there doing something like that actually holds value, especially right now in 2018 and moving forward. I mean, I got to go to Israel, and I just sent sticks off to Hong Kong. You're going to Japan.
Yeah.
As long as you're coming and you're showing up and you're offering them something that grows their game.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's a plane ticket anywhere. Right now.
Yeah, most
That's
definitely.
awesome. How do you even get the word out over there? Like, that's curious. So, like, let's talk about Japan.
Okay.
Just in a little microcosm. So, anybody who wants to bring their lacrosse brand or their lacrosse game to Japan, what is the avenue that they would go down? Do you contact the national headquarters? Who's there?
Right. So for us, there's a federation over there. A lot of international countries have federations.
Are they attached to the FIL?
I believe so. So we had actually connected with a goalie who is from Japan, plays for the Denver Outlaws, Kaizuk.
Oh yeah, I did just see that. Yeah.
So we had connected during the season out in Denver, and he was like, "You guys, I saw you and Dylan are doing camps and clinics. You should try to get over to Japan. There's a lot of guys asking for it, a lot of guys playing, a lot of guys interested in learning and growing their game and developing their games. It'd be a perfect fit for you guys." So we've been at it for the last 9 months. Scheduling, booking, figuring out the logistics, making sure we can hit the registrant numbers we need to hit to make it feasible.
Sure. Yeah.
And marketing the event. And fortunately enough, now we booked our flights 2 weeks ago and did the visa application process.
It gets real when you book a flight.
Right? Especially the visas, that's when it really gets real.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's great.
Going, so, yeah.
Well, dude, that's, this is Lacrosse All-Stars podcast. So anything that you do to grow the game is quite literally the slogan of this company.
Yeah.
So props to you. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you coming in, and good luck in everything you're doing. And, while you're here at the Lacrosse Sticks Woodshop, you're going to make a twig. So I would be absolutely honored if you caught us some pictures in Japan with it.
Absolutely, would love to. I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, guys. Well, I want to take a moment and thank our editor, Joe Snow, and Frank Stanley from Track 13 for all of the music used in this podcast. Also, our sponsor, STX, just for generally being awesome. And, our special guest today. And check back next week when we have another weekly recap and another guest for you guys to communicate with. If you ever want to hit us up with questions, just go ahead and DM us at WoodLaxSticks or at LaxAllStars. Till next time, guys, I'm Justin Skaggs.
And I'm Rich Snow.
And
catch you on the
Sergio Salcido.
Yeah, you did it.
Yeah, there we go, Serge.
Take care. Keep laxing.